Well, thanks for taking some time out of your day to be here for this interview. So I'll just get right into the questions. Number one, tell us what you teach, how long you've been a professor, and what you like most about being a professor.
Okay, I teach BU 375. It's a third-year operations course. It used to be two courses, but we've amalgamated them into one. I started teaching here in December of 2012. January of 2012. And my first class was a class of 15 to 18 students. And I told them right at the beginning of the semester that, obviously it was my first time I was teaching, but that it was a dream come true, and it meant a lot to me to be teaching. And they were very nice to me, and we just worked our way through the material, and I think it worked out well for both of us. We really enjoyed it.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your personal life? So outside of the classroom, do you have any favorite pastimes or hobbies?
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My wife and I have been married for 45 years. We've got 4 kids ranging in age from 42 down to 34, and family life has been good to me. I was an avid golfer from when I was 9 years old.
Nice.
And I've kind of let that slip a little bit. And then I went through a phase where I was a big fisherman, and I fished, and I just bought all kinds of equipment, and I really enjoyed that. And then we started to do some outdoor camping around Chapleau and up north, and we really enjoyed that. And then we kind of lived through that phase, and now we've bought a cottage.
Nice.
And I like being up north, and I like cutting firewood.
Nice.
And I like going back in the bush, and I just so much enjoy it, and I just kind of feel so well when I'm doing those things.
So if you can give a little bit more history as to how you got working at Laurier. So I remember at the start of the semester when I had you, gave a little background about your education path and how education provides you with so much opportunity in your life. Do you mind talking a little bit about that story?
Sure. When I was 45, I met a friend of mine down at Tim Hortons in Woodstock. And he showed me a little pamphlet that the University of Guelph had put out for a new MBA program that they were going to do in agricultural economics and business. And I looked at it and I said, there's no chance I'm ever going to go back to school. I just want to work and go home and do my things, whatever I'm interested in. And he says, oh, I'm going to go. Well, as it turns out that he never went, and I did go. So I didn't have an undergraduate degree, but I applied to this MBA program. And they let me in. They let me in, plus 2 others that didn't have undergraduate degrees as an experiment, because we had lots of operations management experience. So that took 3 years, and I got an MBA out of it, which was really good. And that was a lifetime achievement for me, too.
Yeah.
Then I decided that I just wanted to keep going to school. I was 47 at the time. So I said, I don't want to do an undergraduate degree, but I'd like to do a graduate degree. I'd like to do a PhD. And my advisor talked to me, and when I did the MBA, we had to do a final project, which was I chose a marketing project, and you had to do a 35 to 40 page little document thing, write up. And I did a 240 page one. It was very thorough. It took me a year. That helped me out a lot when I discussed them about taking a PhD. And they told me, they says, listen, we think you're smart enough, we think you'll work hard enough, but we don't think you know enough. Got online between the University of Waterloo, mostly the University of Waterloo at the time, and a little bit at Laurier, and I said, these are the courses I want to take. And so I had a list of 10 or 11 courses, and they looked at them and stroked this one off and added another one, and we come up with kind of an agenda for that. And so they said, go take these and come back and see us. Went back after 2 years, and I says, well, here's the list, I've got them done, will you let me in now? And they said yes. So they let me into a part-time PhD program, and I got a PhD in economics, in agricultural economics and business. So that's, and what I found is that changed everything for me. Education not just, widens our horizons, but it creates new opportunity for us, opportunities that you don't have otherwise. And I firmly believe that it is one of the things that can bring people in out of poverty and disadvantage. They spend so much of their day just trying to meet their daily needs.
Yeah.
They don't have much time for anything else, and the quality of life, it may be good, but it could be better. Education is the key for that happening, and I really firmly believe it. Is that if you're just sitting there as a 3rd or 4th year student, you're thinking about what you're going to do next. Well, education opens up that door to help make your life a little bit better. And when it does that, it's going to help to make your family's life a little bit better. And when it does that across a community, it makes the community life a little bit better. And eventually you got the chance to make the world a better place. I just so firmly believe that. Good.
So just building off our conversation with education, you've obviously had a great extensive career in supply chain management. For some of the viewers who might not be particularly interested in operations, what are some new trends and opportunities that you see in that business function, and where do you see it going in the future?
Okay, well, I'm not sure this is new. Operations and marketing work hand in hand. You know, I've had about a dozen years experience of working closely with marketing, and it was on a small scale, but it still was relevant. We developed new products and brought them along and developed a brand line. And we did it one product at a time, and we did it through coordination. We used to get together once a month, and we get together, we have an inside salesperson, 3 outside salespeople, the plant supervisor and myself, and we'd sit down and we'd kind of develop over things. We'd try and develop new products, and we would monitor products that were always on the go. A lot of this approach is based on the development of long-term relationships and the ability to see past differences. And I think that's one of the most important aspects of operations management, is doing that. First of all, making sure that you work closely with marketing and with the sales department to make sure that you just don't make something for the sake of making it, that you make something that people want at a price they're willing to pay, that provides some sort of benefit to them. Yeah. And just doing it, and we had such a good gig for those 12 years doing that. We all really enjoyed it, and we got along well. And if we had any little bumps along the road, we saw past those things.
So next, continuing with your involvement at Laurier, you are a third-year business professor. Third year is notorious for Ice Week.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure a lot of our viewers are a little bit anxious or maybe even excited about facing it this semester. It's actually next week. Do you have any advice that you could offer them being a past judge for Ice Week?
Absolutely. The first thing I would do is work hard and come up with your plan. And hopefully you get on a good team where everybody pulls their weight. Let's assume that that's going to happen. And it probably will happen, so you don't have to worry about that one too much. But once you get your plan together, you try and present it in the class as if you're kind of like telling a story. I know we're all nervous, and we can get past that. And I was a great one. I couldn't present in front of anybody before because I was so nervous. And now, you know, you do it so many times. Every class is like a presentation, eh? And you do it so many times. It's not that you don't care, but you don't care about the nervousness that maybe accompanies that. Yeah, you used to play pig, and now it carries 0 factor. And if you can tell the story, judges are going to listen a lot more than they are if you go through holding up the cards and reading it off. It's not the picture-perfect presentation, it's the sincerity with which it's delivered.
Awesome. Well, great advice. So now for our last question. You are a huge music fan. I remember you sneaking in some pictures of your favorite artists into the lecture slides whenever you got the chance. So what is your favorite genre of music? Do you have any favorite artists, or how you feel music has played a role in your life?
Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, back from 69 and 70. Jimi Hendrix, I can't believe I'm saying this stuff. Jimi Hendrix, I like. Santana.
Nice.
You guys, you can relate to those guys?
I know Jimi Hendrix and Santana, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe not Crosby, Stills, Nash, you don't know that well. Young was in on that deal, but then he went off on his own. Who else would I like?
How about any current artists? Are you a fan of hip-hop by any chance?
Oh, no chance. No. Sometimes these things grow on you over time. That's never going to grow on me.
Fair enough, fair enough.
God, no. There's not a chance that isn't going to happen.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you. That was incredible. I didn't think you were going to go as in-depth with some of those stories. That was amazing.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that was perfect.
That was perfect.
Okay.
All great. All great.
Awesome.